Hello guys, this is Mr. A Lot More, your senior Udaku reporter, and of course a lot more is coming. Tuko maeneo fulani, maeneo ya Milimani Locots. Eric OMONDI has been released, and as you can see, he is there with his lawyer DANSTAN, OMARI. Okay.
Hello sir.
Yes.
How are you?
As good as Eric. Well. Today, my client Eric was arrested yesterday. Surprisingly, was denied bail. Reasons is that I think he has not shaved his head. Because had he shaved his head, they could not have. They would have released him. Yes. Was denied bail without any reason. I was out of town, so today he was arraigned in court with the offense of creating disturbance. And I raised very serious issues, that the particulars of that offense are that he erected a barrier on a road. Under the Kenyan law, roads fall under the Traffic Act. So it could have been an offense under the law of traffic. Secondly, that he made noise. And I raised the question, what decibels, what amount of volume is prescribed under the EMA Act that you can not make noise? Discourse and claps and loudspeakers can be measured. Can the voice, the noise of a human being, cause disturbance? The third issue, they said, he erected something, then he was doing, then I raised the question, his occupation, he's a comedian, an international comedian. Were they aware whether he was shooting a movie, whether he was shooting a skit, whether he was doing his normal professional job, the way I do it as a lawyer? So really, this is a clear demonstration that the police have not understood the art of comedy. The police have not understood the fight that on the bigger picture, what Eric is standing. Eric is bringing out the plight of 55 million Kenyans, about them not affording a meal, about them suffering because they can't get jobs, about the youth who are helpless. The other day, they arrested him that he was taking CVs to the head of state, because State House has turned out to be an unemployment bureau. Today, he's raising very grave concerns for this country. And once we told the court that, the court agreed with us that Eric does not need to be treated the way the police are treating him, and he was released on a meager 5,000 shillings cash bail. Remember the amount used to arrest him, to feed him, to keep him in police cells, arraign him in court, bring him in 4 or 5 Subarus with armed policemen, getting the judiciary, the clerks, the processing, the paper of the charge sheet. In total, the state must have used to the tune of 10 million shillings to arraign Eric in court, and he is released on cash bail of 5,000 shillings. We hope this will stop, and we are appealing to the police to be sensitive to the plight of people like Eric, who are now in the final phase of liberating this country. Remember, the Mau Maus fought for the liberation of this country. The Young Turks, Raila Odinga, Paul Mwite, and the others fought for the second liberation of this country. The third liberation is now led by the artists who have moved away not only for commercial purposes to do their stuff, but also to fight for the justice and the emancipation of Kenyans. So therefore, we will be in court to hear the evidence they will get, because among the witnesses, I have seen there are 4 police officers. There is nobody who either was driving that was obstructed. There was nobody who was annoyed, because the police cannot be annoyed. It is their job to protect whenever Eric is doing. So we'll stand still with Eric and hope that justice will prevail. That is the position for now.
Okay, a question to you, sir. Are you being Eric Omondi's lawyer? Do you advise him to continue doing what he's doing in the streets?
Eric is doing what every knowledgeable lawyer will advise him to do. It is within the law. If Eric commits a crime that is known under the penal code, I'll tell him don't. Eric is exercising Article 37 of the Constitution, the right to demonstrate, the right to bring to the public what is ailing the country. Eric is bringing out what the Constitution safeguards. Eric, under Article 27 and Article 22, he has a right to association. You cannot restrict that. That is a constitutional mandate. So, and that is why the government, that's why the courts are finding it very, very unpleasing that when somebody is exercising his right to exercise culture, to exercise artistic skills, potential of talent, when does exploitation of one's human potential or talent become a crime? So Eric has not transgressed any known penal law, any known constitutional prohibition. He is within his constitutional right to continue doing, and as his lawyer, I'm encouraging him that he is doing exactly what more than 10,000 schools in this country are doing to teach citizens, young Kenyans, to remove, to understand, so that they are knowledgeable. Eric, by virtue of what he's doing, he is trying to bring awareness to 55 million Kenyans.
Wakili, we have seen you represented some of the people who've been arrested during the demonstration. As an advocate of those clients, do you feel that it is time maybe for you advocates and the citizens to file a class suit to compel maybe the police to let Kenyans picket, demonstrate and gather around?
Two petitions have been filed to challenge, one by UDA to stop the demonstrations. The judge was very categorical that that is a constitutional right. Another petition was also filed before Justice OMONDI, and the ruling was very clear. You cannot limit the right of Article 37. I've seen my lecturer trying to move to the parliament that they want to make a law on regulating demonstrations. Demonstrations are worldwide. It is a right that cannot be derogated. Therefore, we, out of the people who have been charged for unlawful assembly, I am moving to court to challenge whether unlawful assembly under the penal code, a law that was passed in 1950, can host a constitutional provision of Article 37. And that is why the state has slowly, one by one, completely withdraw these matters. I know even these matters of Eric, they'll never proceed. This is only, they will charge him. After 2 to 3 months, they will come to court and say, we intend to terminate these matters. Because you cannot challenge the Constitution. Because in Article 3 of the Constitution puts it very clearly that it cannot be challenged before any court of law. Neither does it need any validity from anybody. So Article 37 cannot be challenged before any court of law. Neither does it need the validity of Kenya Kwanza, does it need the validity of any government. It is the people's Bill of Rights, the fundamental human rights. And Eric is exercising his right, the fundamental human rights. And therefore, I urge all Kenyans and the international world to support Eric, because the course he has taken is the course on behalf of 55 million Kenyans.
And if I can recall, this one is Eric Omondi's second case in
leo amesema yote, sijui ndasema gani leo. Ndio ametumia a bit of jargon, so mimi yangu itakuwa tu layman's language venye Omari DANSTAN amesema. We are just being creative and using our creativity to fight for the rights of Kenyan. As you know, I'm the most followed Kenyan, and I've done comedy for 16 years. But the question that I get asked all the time is that Kenyans have supported me all these years, since 2008. What have I ever done? Unaget Kioko? Yeah. Mimi nini nishaifanyia wa Kenya? Wa Kenya wamenifanyia. Nimewachekesha ndio, but they've supported me. But also, we all must ask ourselves that question as Kenyans, is that what have you done for your country? So me, what I'm going to do for my country is to give myself, to ensure that the high cost of living, we do away with it, that life is bearable, the livelihood of Kenyans are back to normal, which is something the government can do. If the government can wake up and appoint 50 CSs from 25, if the government can buy randomly cars to the tune of 8 or 2 million, then the government can have help for students. So what we're asking the government is to balance. Yeah? Mukiiba kidogo mnahakikisha watoto wamekula. Just balance. As you're buying the cars, kusikose help. As you are swearing in the CSS, just make sure the unga imeenda to 70 pop, so that tuelewane. Tukona weka CS 100. Hatakuwa na shida, but tuko na shida na hizi ma CSS na hizi magari za Mudavadi na kila mtu juu hatuna food na na stima imeenda juu. So whatever you're doing, just be human, balance it. Make sure the people are okay first before you do anything. And my lawyer here should not have encouraged me, because either way I was going to continue, because I know I'm within the law. I have the right to picket, the right to demonstrate, and I will do this. And I respect Baba. Baba has fought for this country. He's the father of democracy. And today we enjoy democracy because of Baba. And Baba fighting for electoral reforms will help our children and our children's children, so that the elections will appear fair. And as Baba is fighting for electoral reforms, which is very important. Maybe that's why in this situation, because ilianza na hapo, yeah? I want to say that us will continue with the fight for unga, the unga revolution. Nimeona ile strategy wanatumia ni kunishika. Jua kinishika wanani weekend. Unajua ukiwa ndani 2 days, ukitoka umechoka, unaoga, unaenda kukula, ndio tena urudi. Unajua hawezi shika Baba. So Baba anaweza piga leo, kesho. So I think what we're going to do is let me for once give them my strategy, because me was surprised sana. That's why wanamkanga wananipata town. So for this time I want to give the government my strategy, so that they prepare as I prepare. We are going to call a 14-day non-stop from Monday to Monday. We've said this before. We are going to prepare as I leave this Milimani law court. And you know I'm very good at planning. By now as a government they should know. Yeah, and anybody who takes a commodity for granted is very stupid, is very foolish. If you're smart, do not ever take a commodity for granted. Yeah. So let me give you my strategy. I'm going to plan a 14-day demonstration. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Watatusikia. So wamesikia Baba. Na sisi tunataka tu unga tu. Sisi tunataka tu unga. So prepare for that. That's all I can tell you, Kioko. But we're going to do it. Hakuna kitu nishasema tukosa kufanya. So where, when, how, mtaiona. But tutaifanya. Na mkidhani Neri katafanya peke yake, mtashangaa. Juu mimi mkinishika itaendelea tu. Because that's the only way the government appears to listen. So nimesikia kuna sasa kutakuwa na electoral reforms or to something to that tune. So si pia tutastop juu tushaona pattern. Ukistop haupati. So tutaendelea mpaka unga ende chini, tutaendelea mpaka stima ende chini. Tutaendelea wakinileta hapa tu. Mheshimiwa wako hapa na amesoma law kutoka hapa mpaka Rongai. Mmemsikia kwa koti. He understands the law. Yeah? Mimi niliambiwa leo nakuja kulipa sijui 80,000. Nilikuwa I was being threatened huko. Wamefika hapa tumelipa 5,000. So hiyo game tutaicheza, because we have well-able lawyers who understand the constitution from A to Z. So we are within the law, and we will continue to picket, we will continue to demonstrate, we will even continue to use comedy, as DANSTAN has said, yeah, to bring out these issues. Na ungekuwa hapo jana baadaye ungeona we use a bit of comedy. So wange tuleta hapa, yeah? Na venye amesema Sakaja pia alikubali tunaweza tumia tao kushoot. But that's all I can say now. And I will not say it and fail to do it. We will do it. We will pick a fortnight, 14 days. Na this time tumwambia. Sindio? Asante sana.
And maybe Eric Omondi, are you demonstrating from your own funds, or maybe someone is funding you?
What is this thing about someone funding me? How much is a mkokoteni? Kuhaya. Sini tao. Sini for tao. How much is hiyo kitu nilikuwa nimeweka yenye DANSTAN anasema. Si ilikuwa ni kambao tu hivi. There's nobody behind me. Ukiangalia hapa nyuma ni DANSTAN unaona. Nyundi yako nyuma yangu. So sina sponsors. Behind me is just my lawyer, bro. Hakuna politician, hakuna political party. As we're just fighting for Kenyans. Yeah?
But Eric, vile polisi mishandle, especially when you're trying to help Kenyans. Yani according, sisi hukuwa pale, na vile wao uinuliwa nini, ni feel like kuna siku moja watakuwa.
Our police na warned by the DANSTAN aliniuliza kama najua wale mishandle pale nini. Pale tukipea naunga City Stadium. Na nilirumia polisi juu towards the end wakaenda kuni release alini apologize here. Otherwise ningependa jina to lawyers. They will be personally, individually. Unaanza ku understand law. Do not spend time na DANSTAN. To the police, you will be personally, individually responsible. Yeah, na bado niko na jina zao ni vile sipatia DANSTAN. Nilimwambia wacha tuwasamee juu one of them nini. You will be responsible for manhandling or mishandling. Wewe si government, si IG. Ni wewe ndio wenye wanachuna vibaya tutawapata tu.
Okay.
Yes.
Asanteni sana.